Hi, Caroline.
Robert, hi. It's good to be with you again, as always.
Thank you, Caroline, and welcome everyone to this invitation to join us for our online series called Your Hero's Journey, and also news of a very special bonus class that we're offering this year on the mystical hero's journey. Now, before we get into the mystical hero's journey, which Caroline is going to tell you all about, let's start with the program as a whole. Your Hero's Journey is a 7-part class that Caroline and I have recorded based on the work of the mythologist and mystic Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell's work on the hero's journey offers a very helpful map for navigating the journey of your life, a map that helps you to know your own depths, to better understand the story of humanity, recognize your soul path, say yes to your higher purpose, and fulfill your sacred contract. The hero's journey is especially relevant for the times we're living in, when we're experiencing a death of normal, the end of a chapter of our life. I mean, if ever there was, and also a time of great chaos and uncertainty, Caroline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a time of transition and evolution, a dark night of the soul. Caroline, I remember when you told me how when you first came across Joseph Campbell's work, the feeling was visceral for you. There was just this sense, I need to know about the hero's journey. This is going to be a companion on the journey, for my life.
Well, Robert, I believe this now more than ever, that the grip of the hero's journey is that every single person archetypally wants to discover their strength. They do. They
Mm-hmm.
want to discover um, really the reason God gave them life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the ultimate journey.
Yeah.
But that path, and this is why the hero's journey is so perfect, that path can only be walked individually. It's not a group experience. It is, you discover your power when you are most powerless and have to begin that, whether or not do you believe? Do you believe in yourself? What do you believe in? I mean, I'm thrilled to do the introduction to the mystical dimension of it, because
Yeah.
I think when someone starts the hero's journey, they focus on the exterior of their life and what has power for them, over them, and what can they detach from. But when you get to the mystics, you are talking about the capacity to experience power, the
Mm-hmm.
experiential level of the journey, to know what it is to direct your force and be an agent of change and transformation. You're not motivated just by your journey, but you can see the vista of the hero's journey woven into the human experience.
Yeah. And yeah, this journey, maybe we could show the picture of the diagram for the hero's journey, because I think this is
That
really,
diagram is brilliant.
yeah, this is really helpful, isn't it? Now there's a lot to it, but in simple terms, the hero's journey is the journey of your life. It's your soul's evolution. It's the spiritual path you're on, and it is a story of transformation, and it's a story that happens in 3 stages. And essentially, stage 1 is the departure. And as Caroline says, that departure is often it often comes from a life-changing event called the inciting incident in Greek drama. It's when something outside of you happens to you and it signals the death of normal, the end of ordinary.
Mhm.
And you know that your outer life will never be the same again. And you are called to take a journey that is an inner journey.
Mhm.
And that's the key here, isn't it? It is an inner journey. Joseph Campbell says we must let go of the life we have planned so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. And all of that happens in the departure stage.
Mhm.
After that, the second stage, which is the actual journey itself, Joseph called this the initiation. Now, that should tell you something.
Mhm.
That this journey, here's the thing, the person that starts out on the hero's journey is not the person that comes home from the hero's journey. And there is some deep encounter with your true self that's going to happen once you've crossed the threshold into the new landscape. You're going to take a journey of profound transformation. You are going to experience what the Greeks called a metanoia, a change that changes everything. And that is an encounter with the mystic, essentially.
Mhm. That really is a shift of your center of gravity so far
Mm.
as your relationship to power is concerned.
Yeah.
So rather than power being, you realize that you have been distributing the precious power of your life force to externals, to people, to ambition, to wounds, to ideas. And the reason the stage of initiation is so essential and so difficult is because those are the currents that you break
Hmm.
in the realization that, as Buddha would say, this comb has no power unless I give it power and decide it's my comb. And if I told people it had magical qualities, then they would want it. I could cast a spell until you realize nothing is anything. That's Buddha. It's all nothingness until you assign. And so a lot of the stages, a lot of the relationships, and it's about discovering, wait a minute, I am the source of what has power in my life. And that power comes from God. It is a profound moment of transformation.
And after the transformation, there is a return, this third stage where the whole point of the journey is that we do come back, and we come back with lessons learned, with new capabilities, new gifts to share. Joseph Campbell said the hero comes back from this mysterious adventure with the power to bestow boons. He calls them boons, gifts, for his fellow man. So this is a very archetypal journey that we're looking at. As you can see, there's these three stages, but there are also very much these other elements to it, such as the call to adventure, crossing the threshold, the road of trials. We're going to be exploring all of this in detail, but in particular this time, in our bonus class, as well as exploring the hero archetype, we're really exploring the mystic archetype. And I think the real reason why Joseph gave us this work in the first place, Caroline.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Mm.
Totally. I mean, the mystical dimension has to be encapsulated in something we can feel, in something we can relate to, in something that makes sense. And as you know, I've taught forever that this journey of life is from our love of power to the power of love. And that's what one discovers. As one releases things you had power, what remains is the extraordinary things you never thought of as power. The power of your compassion, the power of your insight, the power of endurance, the power of patience, and your capacity to change the lives of others through the gifts of your soul.
Hmm. All right. Well, this is, I think, really exciting. I think we can let the image go for a moment here. Um, I'm I'm so excited that we're offering this extra bonus class on here, because I think we're entering into, as I say, the real reason for the hero's journey, and fundamentally changing the way we experience the world. Joseph Campbell talked about the jewel point. I'd like to read this to you. He said the goal of the hero's journey is to go down to the jewel point. It's to find those levels in the psyche that open, and finally open to the mystery of yourself being Buddha consciousness or the Christ. That's the real journey, he said.
Bingo.
Yeah, so it's a fundamental change in identity, and this, yeah, I'm just so happy we're doing this, Caroline. Thank you. There'll
Oh,
be
thank
7
you.
original classes plus this bonus class on
And thank
what
you
it
for your inspiration in putting this class together.
I
Because
feel it's
you really, in fact, I was just discussing you with another teacher saying you are always the quintessential inspiration.
bless you, Caroline. Well,
No, it's
I
true.
feel you're taking us into the mystical, and I just have to say, you know, right now the way I see it, Caroline, is that to be spiritual is not enough in this world. You have to graduate from spiritual to mystical. Because when it's spiritual, we're still in a relationship with something outside of ourselves. We must move to the mystical now to accept that what we're looking for is fundamentally what we were made of in the first place. And that dare to give up the spiritual for the mystical, to graduate from spiritual to mystical, I think it's the only place left for us to go if we're going to change our experience of the world. Instead of having a world that has power over us, we have an experience of a power that helps us to live in this world in a whole new way.
Honestly, honestly, Robert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, everyone, you can find information on the class. I'm sure it's going to be listed below
Yeah,
this video. So,
absolutely.
but I do hope you join us. It's just
Yeah.
a pleasure.
We'll see you there. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you, everyone.
Caroline.